The president today lashed out at the deep state Justice Department, tearing into officials there for not cooperating with document requests from congressional Republicans. The president tweeted this: a rigged system. They don't want to turn over documents to Congress. What are they afraid of? Why so much redacting? Why such unequal justice? At some point, I will have no choice but to use the powers granted to the presidency and get involved. I think at this point is where I say hallelujah. I think it's past time. Joining us tonight, Fox News legal analyst Gregg Jarrett, author of the soon-to-be-released book, The Russia Hoax, the Illicit Scheme to Clear Hillary Clinton and Frame Donald Trump. Great to have you here.
Nice to be here.
Let's start. This conversation is way overdue to have.
Right.
And this president has been attacked in the media for even contemplating firing Robert Mueller.
Right.
I have never seen anyone in such reckless disregard of the nation's interest, such disrespect for the presidency, without in 2 years finding anything and arrogantly saying we're going to press ahead, and a bunch of fools on the left clucking saying we'll impeach the president were he to raise a finger against this unlawful special counsel. This is ignorance.
You know, Robert Mueller was appointed illegally, in my judgment. If you look at the special counsel law.
In the judgment of so many.
Right. If you look at the special counsel law, it's very restrictive. And Rod Rosenstein, who appointed Mueller, abused that law and misused that law.
Let's do a test. Why is there a special counsel? How did James Comey create a special counsel?
Well, there used to be, by congressional authorization, a statutory law called the Independent Counsel. Everybody hated it, so Congress let it lapse. So what the Department of Justice did is create, within the Code of Federal Regulations, new rules for a special counsel.
The deep state Bible.
Right. Now, it's codified into administrative law, and the president has authority over it, so he can get rid of the law, he can fire Mueller, and he can fire Rosenstein.
Let's look at the compounding absurdities. The fact that this is some, it's from the ether, it is formed.
Right.
From cowardice and refusal to take responsibility. Secondly, we're looking at a president who is accused of somehow colluding with the Russians because he fired an FBI director. You tell me what damn sense that makes on any level. There is no sense in any of it.
It doesn't make any sense.
Isn't there a responsibility for us to make sense in government?
Well, the president can go to the American people and make his case and say, look, they've abused this federal regulation in creating this monster in the, special counsel. They've gone way beyond the bounds of decency. And it's time we put an end to it. I am ending it. And I will give Mueller 30 days to end it, or if not, I'll fire him. He could do that. There would be tremendous political fallout.
Oh, you're going to get fallout from the left no matter what. And from the idiots in the rhino establishment of the Republican Party.
But the president has authority to do it.
They're silent.
Right.
He has an opportunity to condition the battleground. And that is get out there. And those rallies that you just saw in Michigan, take that times 20. As he prepares the country for what has to come. I mean, the country's sick of this bull. I mean, absolutely sick of it.
They're absolutely sick of it. Look, if the president is, in fact, served with a subpoena to appear in front of a grand jury, he can file in federal court a motion to quash and say, you have no authority to do this. Now, I will say that Bill Clinton tried to challenge a grand jury subpoena under the Independent Counsel. And it didn't work for him. He ended up testifying for 4 hours in front of a grand jury.
Well, let's cut through.
So appear in front of the grand jury, and as to many
without being charged with a crime?
As to many of the questions, invoke executive privilege. As to the others, take the fifth. That ends the whole thing.
Well, it may end it, but it doesn't change it. And the fact is, you've got to reach into that Department of Justice, you've got to reach into that FBI, and you have got to purge those corrupt fools from the leadership of those agencies.
I agree with you 100%.
You've got to change the mindset of a cowardly Congress.
And that is the authority of the president. He can exercise it if he wants to, and simultaneously make the case in front of the American public that these people deserve to be fired.
This is the time. He is risking his presidency, And the fact is, there are so many complicit, silent people within the Republican Party. Mitch McConnell and Paul Ryan should have the guts to stand side by side with this president. They don't. The ABA should be embarrassed that the legal profession is behaving as it is, because this is a corrupt, and I mean to the bone, corrupt judicial system and legal system that we are watching work.
Oh, it absolutely is. This is the unfettered power of rogue agencies that are now the so-called deep state.
Yeah. And with that, Greg, as always,
my
good to see you.
pleasure.
Thank you, sir.